What is up, guys? Johnny01 here with another FIFA 17 top 5 video, and we're going to keep the theme going of defense, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 most important defensive tips, the best defensive tips that I can give you guys, because defense so important. This goes hand in hand with my last video, which talks about the secret to defending, so you gotta watch that, as well as my defending tutorials and all my other tutorials if you have not done so already, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any future ones. Alright, so let's start off with number 5, and that is to clear the ball. Very simple. Whenever a person, especially tries to cross it in, you want to hold that B button or the circle button if you're on PlayStation to make sure he clears the ball. Don't just try to pass it out. It is not worth it. So here you're going to see some examples. I'm jockeying, expecting the cross. As soon as it comes, I'm ready. Switch to my center backs and I clear the ball. Try to clear it back in the direction where the cross is coming from. That way, it'll make sure to get a little bit more power into the clearance. Guys, it's very, very important. This sounds like a stupid little tip, but it's going to save you so many goals, especially since crosses are so overpowered in FIFA 17. Then we move on to number 4, and that is to push and pull, which is done the same way, but you want to hold the B button or the circle button if you're on PlayStation. So here you're seeing an example. This is the best way when you are parallel to the attacker, when you're really close to him and you're wondering, what should I do? As you're seeing here in this situation, I'm really close to him. Hold that B button. That way you can push and pull, especially if you got a good physical strength guy as your defender, and he's going to overpower him and take the ball away from him. So whenever you get in this situation, instead of doing standing tackles, instead of doing sliding tackles, try to do this push and pull to overpower him. Make sure not to hold it too long, especially near that penalty area, because it will be a foul. Then we got at number 3, the jockey, which is one of the best moves and what you should be doing if you're ever controlling your center back. Only jockey. Make sure to only jockey by pressing and holding the LT button if you're on Xbox or the L2 button if you're on PlayStation. So here we're going to get into some examples. This is very important, especially when defending against the wings. You know those wingers have the ball in these situations where they really have no other choice other than to cut inside or to cross the ball, as you're seeing here. So what you want to do is get near that penalty area and jockey and let them do whatever they want from that distance, because they're not going to score. More often than not, they try to take a long shot. They don't have the angle. If they're that far away, it's not going to be a threatening position. So just jockey. And then especially when the ball gets near that penalty area, inside that penalty area, and you have to control those center backs, make sure to jockey. Keep the attacker in front of you. You always want to be between the attacker and the keeper. And that way, eventually, they're going to run out of space and they're going to run right into you. Then we got at number 2 to use the CDM, and this really is important, guys. I can't stress it enough. When playing FIFA 17, you want to apply a little bit of pressure. You want to take the ball away from those attackers. You should be doing that with your CDMs. CDM, or if your formation does not have any CDMs, just your best defensive center midfielder that you have. That's the person you should be using. You should be controlling most of the time. Try to get into those passing lanes. Very, very important. Act like you're going to apply pressure, but don't just run directly at the attacker. Run at him and then break away and get into those passing lanes. That is the most effective way to defend, but make sure it's with those CDMs so your center backs can stay back and protect against the goal. Lastly, at number 1, and no doubt about it, the best and most important defensive tip I can give you guys is a simple one. Stay back and stay in your lanes. Ever since I started making FIFA tutorials, defending tutorials specifically back in FIFA 15, this was my number 1 tip. It is still my number 1 tip, and people still do not do this, and that's why you give up so many goals. Here in your situation, I have my center back. Watch how I push him back. There is no use of me with my center back especially to attack and apply pressure with him, because if you mess up, there's going to be a huge gap behind you, and it's going to be so easy with these pacey players. You guys know in FIFA 17, pace is so important, so overpowered. You do not want to get caught in those situations. You do not want to make it easy for them. You see here Miranda, he has high work rates. He pushes up a lot, so you have to be extra careful. You got to switch to him. He's going to, if you allow the AI to do all the work for you, he's going to push up, he's going to try to apply pressure, and he's going to leave a huge gap behind him. With a good attacker, he's going to be able to exploit that. So make sure to switch to him and push him back and keep him in his lane. Don't let them move lanes. So if he's a left center back, make sure he stays on the left side. Make sure he doesn't go over to the right side, because then you'll have two center backs in the same position and a huge opening to the left side. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys liked this top 5 video. Defending, I can't stress it enough, so important, guys. And these tips, they seem very basic, but I'm telling you, man, it is so useful. Make sure to check out all my other series that you're seeing on the screen, including the rest of my tutorials, my rest of my top 5 videos, my formation guides, as well as my ultimate team videos. And of course, click in the middle to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future tutorials or top 5 videos. Thank you guys so much.